We welcome in head coach Antonio Pierce. So, Coach, just back to L.A. for a second. The turnovers at the end. You made it a one-score game when you kicked the field goal. What was the message to the team after a loss that you could have won that game?
I mean, to be honest, repeating it for 3 weeks in a row now. Just, Raiders beating ourselves. Penalties and turnovers. You got to take care of the football. You give yourselves no chance to win games when you turn the ball over at the rate we're turning it over.
Nate Hobbs had a big game. What did you see on the tape with him? Now when he's playing aggressive behind the line of scrimmage, finding the football, that's what we've been waiting for. We got it.
Yeah, we tried to just leave him at one position, right? Not have him go outside to play outside corner. Just leave him in that star nickel position. And obviously, man, I've been talking about it. He's physical. He can blitz. He can cover. He's really having a quietly good season. Like, he just keeps showing up and has been very consistent with his play. And obviously, he came through in a very big moment where we need a play to kind of get the momentum going back to our side, and he did, and he was able to put points on the board.
Brock, we'll get to him throughout this conversation, but that was just another game, a milestone all-time, the most receptions by a rookie tight end.
I mean, listen, he's special. I've been saying it. I think everybody in the league sees it now. You can't hide it. I mean, I think he's leading the league in receptions as well. But it's everything. It's the body of work. I mean, I see the receptions. I get that and what he's doing after the rock. But what's so impressive is that same guy that's leading the league in receptions is blocking his tail off in the run game, blocking his tail off out there on perimeter passes. So just ultimate football guy. He's a football guy, and you want to have more and more guys like that on your team.
We played his locker room session. He's all business. He doesn't want to talk. The questions, he does his job in front of the locker. It's ball, it's good. Let's get on to the next game.
Yeah, just watch him in meetings, just sitting there in team meeting. You talk, and y'all get eye contact, but I'm not going to get anything. I'm not getting a head nod. I'm not going to get a smile. And then you watch him with the offense and walkthroughs and just a business-like mentality. And he's been like that from the day he walked in. I mean, I think I said it before. I asked him, what jersey number you want? You want 19? He's like, what's available? All right, well, here we go. That's it. That's the end of it. Let's go move on.
Tell me about Desmond Ridder. When Tom Telesco, you looked at the tape, and your coach is Luke Getzey. What did you see that could potentially help the team?
Well, he's played, right? He's played, very successful coming out of college. He's a winner. He's mobile. And more importantly, man, we just need some fresh life. Obviously in the quarterback room with Aiden being out for a while, so there's a lot of characteristics there. He's a smart person, genuine, just being around him for the last couple of days. Excited to see what he can do.
He's in a unique spot. He came into the league and they threw him in. So he played a lot in the beginning. It's hard to keep that job when you're rookie. Yeah, very similar to that. So you believe he has the experience. He could change the play at the line if he gets in. He could make plays with his legs. And he's got a big gun if he can throw it downfield, and the connection with Trey in college.
Right, and I think that's huge as well. Yeah. But more importantly, he was with Arthur Smith in Atlanta. A lot of similarities in the scheme, verbiage, vocabulary, terminology, quicker to get him up to speed into our playbook.
All right, DeAndre Hopkins is the breaking news today before the week. It looks like Kansas City, all reports are, bring him in. With Worthy and Kelce, it looks like they just want a route runner there that maybe opens up their offense a little bit more. How do you see that move?
Yeah, I think, they're banged up like a lot of teams in the National Football League. But, I mean, this offense still is going to go around Kelce and Worthy deep. I mean, what they've been able to do with Worthy, to his speed, either in reverses, jet sweeps, vertical shots. It's legit, right? He's 4'2", and it's fast. And our guys got to be on top of it. We got to keep him in front of us, do a good job of that. But at the end of the day, when you talk about divisional rivalry game, it always comes down to Kelce for us. And all eyes is on 87 and 15.
Well, what I thought last week when you told us about the eye candy, and you did a pretty good job with that overall, I call it misdirection. Yep. And we talk about that always. They start a play one way, they come back the other way. That's eye candy. Kansas City does it better than any other team.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the linebackers and the guys at the second level just to move slightly, get them out of position. So now they create angles on us to get to the blocking direction that they want to get to give them creases in the run game. But then more importantly, like you said, when you got speed like they do at wide receiver and even at the running back position, I think it's unique for us to really just be very intentional on how we move, right? It's not like that, you see some linebackers, they're shuffling like it's a drill, like you're training in offseason. No, it's very subtle. Same thing with our safeties, our stars when they're down here. So we got to be key because, if you get out of fit one time with these guys, they're out the game.
The physicality against this team. I know that's the way you played, and that's the way you have to play against Kelce. If he gets a free roll at the line of scrimmage, he can get upfield and make big plays. To get a linebacker on him, to chip him a little bit, that's really important in this one.
Yeah, this is our third division game, and every one of them has been physical, right? From the Chargers to the Broncos, now here to the Chiefs. This is not going to be any different. You look at, we talk about all his eye candy and all the movement, but Andy Reid wants to be physical. That O-line is a physical group, especially a three interior O-lineman. So it's going to be really key for us to be upside, be stout, You go back to how we played last year in both games. The big key point was being stout up front on both sides of the ball, and that's where it's going to be won. It's going to be won in the trenches. We know they got a great quarterback, Hall of Fame type quarterback there. But the ability to stop the run and run the ball is going to be very critical.
We talk about the other head coach every week. I want to spend time on Steve Spagnuolo, how far you go back with him, what you know about his tendencies here as a defensive, potential Hall of Fame coach on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think we know each other too well.
Yeah?
That's not a good thing in a game like this because we spend time in the offseason with each other, constantly talk throughout the week. Won't talk this week. That's our rules. We never talk the week of our game. But a lot of respect for Steve Spagnuolo. Obviously, I played for him when he was his first year as a coordinator. We won the Super Bowl together, and I've went back and coached underneath him in 2017. Ultimate respect, just what he's able to do. They've now kind of warped into a different defense, right? They missed some pieces with injuries, and they lost some guys in free agency. Now they're doing a lot of different things, but the production is still there. I mean, they're aggressive. They're in your face. You know what's going to happen on 3rd and 4th down. Get close to the red zone. Here comes all-out pressure, and he knows how I think. He knows how I see the game of football, how we like to play defense, and obviously it's going to be a good matchup.
Chris Jones has got your offensive linemen thinking for the right reasons. You got one of the best players in football there. The ability to just slow him down, he's been a game wrecker.
Yeah, it's not one set of hands, it's not two, it's three. We got to constantly have all eyes and hands on him. We got to wear him down. There's going to be moments where he takes himself out the game, and that's going to be critical for us to get going, of course. Every team does that to him. But when he's in there, we got to know where he's at. And he moves. Spags does a really good job of just moving. He's a 3 technique. Last year against us in the game 2, he's playing nose tackle. Then he goes to defensive end. We ain't got to worry about him dropping, but we got to know when it's a critical situation, the game's on the line, where's Waldo? And Waldo for us is 95.
Go back to the Christmas Day game last year. Max, Jack Jones, and Merrick. Right, all in that game, all with confidence in that game. You had an unbelievable performance, 2 scores in 7 seconds. Is that what you're preaching to the team this week, that the game could flip pretty quickly with a couple of big plays on defense?
Yeah, I mean, really, I talked to all 3 units this one. We're really striving and keep pushing for our special teams units to make that special play and be a difference maker. We got one of the best punters there. We feel really good about our kicker. Just doing something special there, but the last 2 years, really the last 4 games, you think about the scores. Like we've been up, it's been very competitive except for 1 year at the end of the 2022 season. But it always comes down to either them making a play or us making a play. And then where is it at? Is it in that middle 8 where we talk about, like the end of the 2nd quarter, beginning of the 3rd quarter, which they're one of the best in the National Football League in situational football. So we're not looking to make splash plays and search for them and hunt for them. It's like, let it come to us. Do our technique. Play fundamental. This is a well-coached team. They've been together. They've won now back-to-back Super Bowls. They've won. They're on a 12-game winning streak.
Yeah, they are.
Right? So this is a really good football team. So we got to be dialed in. This ain't a trick-em-dick-em game. This is really just get right into it. Everybody do their job. Daniel
Carlson comes off a big game here. But I look at your punter and AJ. Ray Guy played in this series along with Shane Leckler, who I think is going to be a Hall of Famer someday. I think this is a big game to flip the field. You got one of the best punters in football. That could be the difference in pinning them back and making them go 90 yards a few times.
I mean, I don't think he's going to hit the agenda. That's our philosophy.
Yeah.
To pin these guys back, allow our defense to play backed up defense and have them guys back there and play half-court offense, right? Allow them to punt, get a stop, our offense the ball, hopefully near midfield. Use Daniel Carlson, use A.J. Cole, those guys that you talk about as weapons. And this is going to be a game every point matters, right?
Yeah.
If we got an opportunity to put points on the board, we got to do it. And obviously we know we don't want to be in a high-scoring game. That's not how we're playing football right now. That's not where we're at this point in the season. So we got to make it kind of a slugfest.
Finally, I can't anticipate a bigger opportunity for you and your team than this game at this time. You want to flip it. You want to turn it around. After beating them, the last team to beat them, I got to think everybody's going to be sky high this week for preparation, and especially on game day.
Yeah, well, it's a team we know very well.
Yeah.
Right? The scouting report wasn't long today. It's a couple of minutes. Let's get right into the game plan, get going. And we understand what's going to come into the stadium. It's going to be a lot of red. Right? It's a lot of red. That's not a color that we're very happy about seeing in our stadium. Our guys understand it. But more importantly, this game is not about, Antonio Pierce and Andy Reid or Spags and Patrick Graham. This is about the Raiders versus the Chiefs, a huge rivalry, a game where there's true dislike for one another, and we have to play that way.
Last one with the fans. They were there for you in L.A. As always, they'll be here. Again, there'll be some red there, but the fans really anticipate maybe the season, this could be a defining moment if you get a win. And that's what you're in business to do, is get a win. This is a great opportunity to put one on the board.
There's another opportunity in front of Raider Nation. The Black Hole's been great everywhere we've been, home and away. Raider Nation's always loud. And like I always keep saying, man, I'm truly appreciative of the season that we're having right now, not the record we want, but their ability to show up, be loud in critical moments for us. They really energize our team. And this is a group that I'm telling you now is heavily motivated to play in this game.
Thank you.
I'm fired to see it.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thank you.